What's up, gang, and welcome back to another edition of Home Trippin' with the Rudes.
Yes, Road Trippin' with the Rudes, the Parked Edition. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, the like button for this video, and the notification bell as we will keep content coming. If you have been with us before, thank you for riding along. Please make sure that you hit that like so that we know that you're here.
Yes.
So, we're doing something a little different today. Today is Sunday, but we are doing a special edition of What to Watch.
Yes. And, you know, the climate that's going on in the world today, I wanted to watch Fox and the Hound. And that was because, you know, it teaches an important lesson that I wanted Ella to see. And basically, in the Fox and the Hound, what happens is... Should I tell them what happens? Or the basis of the story?
Yeah.
Alright. So, the basis of the story is... The fox and the hound, they grow up. They're little puppies, or I don't know what you call a baby fox. But they come together and they play together, and they don't know that they're supposed to hate each other, really. The hound's supposed to hunt the fox, and they don't know that, you know, until they get older. And then, you know, stuff start going a little sideways. But I just thought it was an important message because it shows as a child, right? You don't know to hate somebody, or you just want to have a friend and you want to play with them until outside influences, you know, put that on them to not like each other.
So to give a little context, and comment down below if you are like us, a lot of times we use Disney movies as conversation starters or as ways to kind of see where the girls are at as far as their views. Yeah. So Fox and the Hound was a great one.
Did you ever see Fox and the Hound before?
No. I'd never seen it before. It was released in '81.
Which I didn't know that. I thought it was a little more recent than that.
No, it's an oldie but goodie. I have my Small World, It's a Small World ears on first. I love that ride. Corey despises it. But it really is. So a lot of times you'll see commonalities in people that you didn't even know you would see. And so, with that being said, we tuned into Fox and the Hound. So, just a little back story on how we do our reviews. Number one, we don't discuss our thoughts on it beforehand. So, you're getting the real
raw and
rugged,
cut.
raw.
Yeah.
For me, as soon as we started watching it, it made me think of, and I'll let you kind of delve into it more. Okay. But for me, it made me think of my childhood, and it made me think of your childhood.
Mine?
Yeah, because we had such different ones. So, I grew up in a very, very diverse family. And we literally played with each other. Like, we didn't have that many friends. I've got some childhood friends, and I can't even say childhood friends because we're still friends. But for the most part, we were all together, and our parents made that a big thing, like, you've got each other.
Yeah.
And I say that to say, I think our parents understood that society wouldn't understand. So for us, we celebrated differences. Like, we recognize that. So yes, I have a Colombian uncle, I have a Peruvian uncle, I have my family's Islanders. So we had, you know, my mother, Puerto Rico, Irish, German, Scottish. We had everything. So it wasn't like, oh, this is different. This is like, oh no, I can count on, you know, my Theo Carlos to come through with the ceviche. And I could, you know, so, speaking of food, sorry guys, I've really missed you. I've been all over the place. But now that I think about food, everything brings me back to food. I've got my park snack shirt on because I miss the parks. So with that being said, there is a challenge coming up next week, and it is the Magic Foodie Tour. And we will leave the details for the amazing ladies that have started it. So it is EatSeeMagic on Instagram. We'll also leave her YouTube channel. She's got some good stuff. It is BibbidiBobbidiBroke, who is literally sunshine in a person. I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan. And we also, and she helps you Disney on a budget, which is key for us, right?
Yeah.
And because, you know, ears aren't cheap, so I've got to figure out ways to also supplement his Funko fiction.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it's darling Nikki, who follow her on Instagram. We'll include her information. Live for her Frozone.
We'll put that in the description.
Yes, we'll definitely have that in the description. But I say that to say, Corey's background, he actually still has a friend that is of a different race.
Yes.
And you want to like, and so right now, as they're friends as adults, and you know they're Facebook friends, his friend is really discussing some of the challenges he faced growing up with a racist family, with you know, Corey as the best friend, and
I mean, you know, he's white, and I swear to you, if you talk to him on the phone or anything, you would think he was a black guy. He's all about the culture. You know, he knows everything about the culture. And he grew up, you know, where we grew up. Very diverse neighborhoods. And, you know, he didn't know any different. He was just being him, you know. But when he would go out west, you know, Western Pennsylvania, that is, to his, you know, all-white family that has zero diversity in whatever town they were in, you know, they looked down upon him and was...
For his clothes, his style.
Yeah. And why you trying to talk like this or talk a certain way, which he really wasn't. That's just him being him. And he just was feeling some type of way because they would call him names and
he didn't discuss that when you guys were kids, right?
No, I never knew that until, you know, what was happening in the times today. Yeah, which
I think says a lot, because I think a lot of us have spent so much time with a certain duality of suppressing kind of our feelings, and now things are coming to a head. I mean, I know that when I was in the corporate world, I would have days where I would worry about my girls, worry about my husband, and then I'd go to work and people would be talking about the new frappe or a frappuccino drink, and it was hard. I think now we're having more candid conversations. So
yeah, for sure.
So I thought the movie was great from the standpoint of it really reminded me of some childhood things for us. So as Corey said, you have the backdrop of a fox and hound, so they're supposed to be arch enemies. That relationship absolutely made me think of you. But for me, what was interesting was initially, so the fox, who's like, I don't know, cute as all get up, God, Disney, stop killing everybody's mom. But, so his mother is, I don't want to give it away, but his mother's no longer available, Disney style. And so he is kind of adopted by a widow Tweed, who like loves on him, and they make this immediate connection. And she names him Toddler, or Todd for short. That connection resonated with me, and also Big Mama. So yes, the name is problematic. This was 1981, so bear with us. But the voice of Big Mama was Pearl Bailey, and shout out to Pearl Bailey. Love Pearl Bailey. But we see an owl who Big Mama, who is an owl, kind of looks over Todd and everyone. And I think if you grew up in a time where you were like outside, you know, street lights and so forth, every neighborhood had that neighborhood matriarch. Yeah. Kind of like watching over everyone. I know I had mine and, you know, adored her. And so that was giving me all types of warm and fuzzy feels. And I don't think we have that anymore. And I think that that's missed in our society. Yeah. Because there was a certain... You stood up straight when you knew she was watching, and you also knew you were safe. But the relationship, too, between Widow Tweed and Todd, I thought was really a good dynamic. The matriarch is also could be the candy lady, too. Yeah, well, in the neighborhood. Yes. Yeah, you got to be straight for the candy lady. So we were very busy children, so we had a separate candy lady because the matriarch had to watch us and all that we did. Yeah. Especially because a lot of us were in like, you know, our parents were working full time. I was actually latchkey kid. Yeah, I was actually raised by my dad, so I was raised by a single parent, so she definitely kept an eye on me. But yes, the candy lady. Shout out to if you had a candy lady or an icy lady, or if that's just That's not a Central PA thing, right? I
Nah,
feel like everybody.
Yeah, I feel like every hood had a candy
It was
lady.
perfectly okay in your mind and in your parents' mind for you to knock on somebody's door and give them money and get candy from them.
Yeah.
Which is normally like that taffy that was like a block.
Yep.
Comment down below if you had that. That was like
taffy, little tootsies, not the fruities. They were the, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Here, children,
fruities.
diabetes.
And definitely the grandma candy of all grandma candies, the little strawberry.
Oh my God.
The little strawberries wrapped up. Yeah.
So guys, Ella despises anything strawberry. And we don't get it.
Yeah, nah.
Because like that strawberry candy was life. But Todd was taken in by Widow Tweed, who has a neighbor. We all had that neighbor that just didn't get with the program. And in this one, it was a hunter who around the same time that Todd was adopted, if you will, he picked up a new hunting dog.
Yeah.
To go hunting. For fox.
For anything.
Right.
He called them vermin.
Vermin. Yeah. You filthy vermin.
Yeah.
That sounds very Yosemite
Yeah,
Spanish.
it did.
But so, as Corey said, they were little and they didn't know they were supposed to be enemies. So, do you want to take it from there?
Yeah, so, they would play and, there was also a big dog, Chief was his name, which he was supposed to be training young Copper. That was the hound's name, Copper. So, Copper would run off and him and Todd would go out and play. And then the hunter would come out and be looking for Copper and he was always calling for him. So Copper would have to come. They would have to cut their playing short. And I know how that is. I used to be out trying to play hide and go seek and my mom calling me, come back in the house. Yo, hold up. We ain't done playing yet.
He probably didn't clean his room. Full disclosure.
It was probably something for sure. Yeah. But, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm playing. Who cares? But anyway.
Comment down below if you know who the disciplinary in our family is with the who cares comment.
Y'all better know. I got that hay. That dad hay. That dad hay freezes everybody.
First of all, he laughs at everything and makes everything a joke.
But when I say hey, everything comes to a halt. So... that's the dad hay. Everybody knows. Everybody got a dad hay.
We'll have to ask the girls. You'll have to ask
them. I bet you Ella shook right now. She heard me say, hey. She like, oh, what am I doing? They ain't even in here. But anyway.
But I will say this. So that dynamic is interesting as well. There's so many levels. This was like the Zootopia of its time where there are so many levels to this. So you have the hunter who is neighbors with Widow Tweed, who at every turn that he gets reminds her that, oh, you silly old woman. So it was that tension between male and female, and he would kind of come at her in that way. But she had some clapbacks.
So that she went at him. She came back at him. So took his shotgun and everything.
Yep. So fast forward, they are growing up.
Well, they go away. They go away for the winter.
Who's that?
To go hunt. So Copper, the hunter, and Chief. So they go away out in the woods. I guess he had a cabin somewhere, his hunting cabin. He went away. They would come back the following spring. So they went away, come back spring. And
their Copper's a big boy. He's big now. I feel like that's what happened with Chala.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, 1 year's time, he was huge.
Yeah. But like we got him around... Christmas time, by the spring, he was a big boy. If you don't follow us on Instagram, be sure to follow us at Road Tripping with the Rudes, and you'll be able to see T'Challa in all of his bigness.
Yeah.
So he came back a big boy. Which is problematic at this point, right?
So now, Todd, he sees him coming back, and he's like, oh, my friend's back, He's like, let me go holler at him. He went over there to try to go holler at him. And Copper was actually happy to see him.
Yeah, I think Big Mama tried to...
tell him like
being an owl, just said, hey, slow up, it's different. And I think that is really true what happens in life. If you went to school, you might have had grade school friends and something happened in middle school or something happened in high school. And oftentimes it's the influence of their parents.
So, you know, Todd goes over and holler at him, and Copper's like, hey, what's up, man? But you can't really be over here. Like, I'm supposed to come and get you, so you can't really be over here. So,
translation, you can't sit at my lunch table.
Yeah.
There's now a big divide, right?
Yeah. So, you know, Todd didn't understand, really, because he's been at home with Widow the whole time. So he's just like, what do you mean I can't hang out over here?
Todd was homeschooled.
Yeah.
Kind of like our children.
Yeah. Todd went to cyber school.
Right. Tom is homeschooled. Todd is homeschooled, yeah.
So
he
was upset.
There's that dynamic. You know, it's, you know, big thing ensues, and then.
Well, Chief was asleep at the time.
Yeah.
And Todd and Copper was like, "Hey, Todd, you better get out of here before Chief wakes up."
We don't want to give it all away, but something kicks off.
I do, but go ahead. I mean, 1981. If y'all ain't seen it yet, come on.
I did not. So, but I'm telling you, it's definitely worth watching. Or worth a rewatch, because the conversations, we really had some good conversations with Ella throughout. So then you have the point where,
because when he came back, Ella was like, you know, and Copper kind of dissed Todd. Ella was like, but when they were little, they said they'd be friends forever.
Yeah,
that's exactly what she said.
She did say that.
So she didn't understand either. Like, yo, they said they'd be friends forever.
Hey, you know what? I will say this. If you have a friend that is long lost, maybe it's time to reach out to them. With Facebook, it's something that you can absolutely do. I love, again, it feels weird saying childhood friends because we're friends, right? But I love having that.
I'm still a child, according to you, so.
What do you mean?
You know? So I still got my. You just like, yo.
So it's so
she's talking about childhood friends. Well, I'm still in my childhood, according to her.
It's so funny. So a friend of his wife and I were speaking, and his friend chimed in. I said, you know, don't forget our other children, aka our husbands. And he was like, hey, wait a minute, don't say that. You know, we're adults who just play with toys and video games, and then he started backing up. He started backing up. He was like, okay, well, maybe you have a point, but no. So comment down below if your spouse is a child at heart.
What's his name? She calls me what's my man? Bob's Barn from Toy Story. Is that who it is?
Yeah, Bob's Big Barn.
Yeah. I'm Bob because I put my toys up on the shelf.
No, for my marble peeps, he is the collector.
Yeah,
he is absolutely the collector. He actually has a collector, but we'll start posting like Funkos. We'll do like a Funko Friday or something like that on Instagram. So if you don't, make sure to follow us there. I know. We'll also be on our Facebook, Road Trip with the Roots.
We all over the place. So let's go back. Fox and the Hound. Go ahead.
So, you know, there comes a time where Todd is a big boy now. Widow has to, you know, let him go and be with his friends and so forth. And not gonna lie, I got misty-eyed there.
I knew that would hit you.
Oh, okay. So what do you think hit me?
Well, just her having to get rid of her dog, and as she's dropped.
He's a fox.
I mean, Fox. I mean, she treated him like a dog. He had a collar and everything. Right. Yeah. As she had to, you know, basically, okay, it's too much trouble happening around here. I gotta, you know.
For your safety.
Yeah, for your safety, I'm gonna take you and drop you off somewhere. So. On her way there, she was going back through the memories and everything, and I knew it. I'm like, Nicole about to cry.
Well, not even that. Just for me, did it remind you of anything?
Not for me, no.
Okay, so for me, it was two parts. One, it reminded me of when my dad died before Elle was born, but him and Ava were inseparable. So I remember how that adjustment was for Ava. And then it also reminded me of when Ella was little, Ella stayed with Corey's parents. You know, to prepare Ella for kindergarten and stuff, she could no longer hang out with Nano and Poppy, you know, getting their soup. She definitely was the only 3-year-old that was all into soup. But it was great because she had that time with them, and you know, especially now, I think, given COVID and the fact that she can't physically see them, it's been hard. So, yeah, I definitely got all the feels there. But it was great to see that Big Mama was kind of still with him as he went to kind of acclimate himself with the forest.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you know, the whole time the hunter was watching her take the fox, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here we go, bingo."
The hunter's petty, and you know, the hunter just is. What's that saying? Like, whatever you don't like ends up in your family, right? So if you are narrow-minded enough to have hate, it will always bite you in the butt, and it literally bit him in the butt.
Yeah.
But he did meet Vixie. So he called himself a foxy fox.
Who's he?
Todd.
Okay. I just wanted to make that clear.
Todd met a foxy fox. And typical guy move, Todd was doing too much. Comment down below if you've ever had somebody doing too much.
You haven't.
Yes. Oh my God. When Corey and I first started dating, he was just, I don't know, because I'm a big...
smooth operator.
No.
Smooth.
If I had $1 for every time, I'd say like more like water, less like rock. Like,
listen. There's not enough O's in a box of Cheerios to tell you how smooth I was.
The most. But behind or underneath all that faux machismo, whatever.
Smooth.
As sandpaper. Smooth as sandpaper.
You
crazy.
Right?
So underneath all of that was this really great, charming person. But like, no. All that was like, come on. Like, no. Don't Ayo me.
Alright.
So
y'all see where she at, right?
Anywho. So, no, for the record, the
Fox and the Hound, bro.
First family reunion, your entire family was like, Corey's so changed. It was different for me because I don't even have family reunions. Comment down below if that's what you... Like, family reunions for us is like...
Well, they were saying that because they know, you know, player from the Himalayas. That's why they were saying he changed.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So, Fox and the Hound, he meets a foxy fox, Vixie, who is wiser, calmer. Anyway, he projects kind of some of the things that you hear from the hunter. Vixie gives him a tip and he goes something like, he called her airhead or something.
Yeah, he called her something. I can't
It's 1981, so
yeah.
Politically correct must not have been invented, but he says something. Anyway, he regroups. Slimeball hunter finds them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he finds them.
And he goes after them.
Yeah.
With Copper. And Copper is upset because of what happened beforehand. So, you're going to have to watch it. We're not going to give it all away.
Yeah.
But, so Copper's still upset. So, Copper's upset with his friend. How many of us have been so upset with our friend that we've kind of lost sight that, hey, they're our friend?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not above blocking someone for a day. But I now realize that, hey, it's more important to communicate. Anyway, Copper's running after them.
Block. Go ahead, bro.
Copper's running after them. Hunter almost gets them. And there's a big fight. But then enter Murdu. Now, it wasn't Murdu, but he really looked like Murdu. If you watch Brave, you'll get the reference there.
Yeah.
So a huge bear comes. He was probably the inspiration for Murdu because there wasn't much of a difference, like down to the eyes. Anyway, attacks the hunter because you know that's how karmic law works, and also attacks Copper and.
The best part about the karmic law on that one was he was setting bear traps for the fox. And a bear comes out and gets him. And he gets in his own bear trap.
Yes. So, for me, what it made me think of is the current state that we're in of anger. Everyone feels so valid in their position that they're losing sight of what we should be focusing on. And, you know, we see a lot of ugliness on social media, and it really, just even like as the bear was coming, and just, it made me think of like the anger that we see a lot of times. And then to see Todd snap back in and go, wait a minute, this is my friend. I think it's a great message and a great conversation to have as adults and as children. Like, we might have differences that we don't agree on. Most differences should be acknowledged and celebrated, and that's what makes things work. But if there's something that you disagree on, if you are so blinded by anger, it's a great reminder to say, wait a minute, let's check your ego. Check your privilege. Check whatever the hell you need to check. And know that it's about life. So the moment that he saw that Copper's life was in danger.
He didn't go to Twitter.
He didn't go to Twitter. He didn't film. He jumped in and he took action.
Right.
Even
he didn't go take a picture in front of the church.
No. We're not going to get into politics, but, you know, he took action. He saw someone's life at risk, and he took action. And was he afraid? Yeah, I'm sure. This was, you know, a big bear. But Ella says it best. Fear, being afraid and being brave can absolutely happen at the same time. And she says it, Mom, it's okay to be afraid, just as long as you're brave. And I think that makes sense. A lot of sense. So I thought the fact that Todd was able to stand up and save Copper.
Yeah.
Basically save Copper from himself, because Copper, if you don't think Hunter was going to have you hunting bears pretty soon, you know what I mean? So I thought that was great. And then they had a moment where they kind of reconciled all of the relationships at the end. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Yep. Really good.
No, I thought it was.
No, it was good. No,
what was your take on it as far as tire tracks? How many?
So I gotta, you know, it's a good movie. I give it 3 out of 5. And I gotta take deductions just because it's from 81 and it ain't graphically pleasing. So out of 5 tire tracks, I'm giving it a 4. And that's with deductions, because I thought it was well written. I thought, you know, for me, if I think about 81, it was a brave thing to film in 81. Yeah.
Because it touched on a lot of things. Yes, it was animated. And yes, they used, you know, more so forest creatures instead of people. But no,
and the thing about it is, you can tell the writing is great because a movie from 81 can still resonate today in 2020.
So, okay,
Absolutely.
I'm going to put my Stan Lee Marvel hat on, right? It's one of those, the writing was great. The sad part is that it still resonates. So it's like when Stan Lee comes out with Black Panther comic in the 60s, it's, you know, cutting edge and, you know, bringing light to people. But then when the Black Panther movie comes out in 2018, people still didn't get the memo.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it's one of those that, yeah, great writing, and I wish we could say it's dated, but it's not.
Right.
It's really relevant.
Yep.
So 4 tire tracks for me. I loved the voices. So Pearl Bailey, of course, but they had some 100 Acre Woods character voices in there. So that was good. I mean, I I mean, I could never. Comment down below if you know the characters, but like some voices, I don't care what they're saying. I love that voice so much.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that voice so much. I loved all of the forest creatures. Was there one that reminded you of yourself or that you resonated with?
Yeah, the badger.
I knew you were going to say badger. Okay, so, and I thought of it too. For me, it was the porcupine because Corey's Mr. Friendly. I'm fairly standoffish.
The badger was the standoffish one.
No, he was just outright standoffish. But I understood why you thought of him.
Okay.
So I'll tell you in a second. But for me, the porcupine, I'm kind of standoffish. Probably because I'm a germaphobe and just, you know. But once people know me, everyone's like, oh my God, like you're sweet. And that's the way the porcupine was. Once the porcupine was in their space, they were able to be nurturing and there for Todd. The badger was extra. The badger was all the way live, all the way extra. So I could see that.
Yeah.
But overall, must-watch movie. I think it was really a great conversation starter.
Yes.
If you are one of the families that missed out on Sesame Street yesterday on CNN, and that wasn't geared towards younger children, where this one, absolutely the children will watch. Ella stayed through the whole thing. And Ella's ability to literally cartwheel her way out of a living room and do something else is very high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't judge. Yes, we let our child cartwheel in the house. I mean, we're in the house a lot these days.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so, no, I say, if you want to have a conversation about what's going on and don't know how to, open it up.
Because they know. They already know.
Yeah.
Do not kid yourself and think they don't know.
Throw that movie on and, it'll be a conversation starter for you.
Yeah. And as you're having the conversation, I think it's very important too, as watching the movie, you hear words that you're like, it's very important to be mindful of the words that you use now. When we are even talking about what's going on outside with protesters, we do not use the term rioters. We often say an uprising, and we are very key on saying Americans. Mm-hmm. So regardless of what side, be it the military, because there's not an us and them, there's us, and we're all different, and we are all powerful, and we all have a voice. So when you say things like rioters and your child is seeing a lot of black and brown, that might cast that might plant a seed. Yeah. That might plant a seed that turns into a weed, and you don't want that.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
I'm a ghostwriter in my spare time. Just ask Drake. OVO. So, guys, when I was spending time in Canada a lot for work, that's what it was. Go. OVO. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, hold on. This was for writing for Drake. There you go. There you go. Guys, can you see that we really did miss you? We haven't been filming for a while because things were too heavy and we had to put it down, but we are glad that we're back. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to Road Trippin' with the Rudes. Mm-hmm. Like this video, hit the notification bell. Mm-hmm. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, at Road Trippin' with the Rudes, and on Twitter.
Road Rudes.
Right. And this week, you're not in the park.
You're not in the park.
You want to be.
You want to be.
I want to be. Because it's a small world after all. Get your snack on. Make sure to follow the hashtag Magic Foodie Tour. Follow. I will say this. EatSeeMagic. Mm-hmm. Make sure to follow her on Instagram and follow her on YouTube. She's got some great videos there. We'll be sure to include that in the description. This week, if you aren't following her now and you're following her at this moment, go back. This week she had some amazing smoothies. Ava's our smoothie girl. Yeah. Ava's all about the smoothie. And she had some great recipes.
Tropical smoothie, holla at us.
I miss tropical smoothie. But no, these were some great smoothies. And most importantly, for the last smoothie, it was an adult smoothie that included rum. Mm-hmm. I heart rum. Mm. After a long weeks, months now, I heart rum. So that was great. And then again, BibbidiBobbidiBroke, the best way to do Disney and save your money. So please be sure to check her out on Instagram. And on Instagram, it's Darling Nikki. So all of those ladies put this together. We'll be participating. We got some food.
Yeah, y'all know we got some food.
Comment down below if you take pictures of your food. I'm that person.
I used to hate that actually, but it's grown on me now.
So this is how greedy I am. I absolutely, you know, like people go back to pictures of places they've been or people they were with. I go back to pictures of food. I could recall that plate and everything. I reminisce with food. When they reminisce over food. My God. Right. But thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Please be sure to comment down below. Let us know you're there. Check out Fox and the Hound and let us know your thoughts after doing so. Yeah. And start having the conversation. Definitely start having the conversation because as much as you guys love Corey, we love and need Corey, and we need him home, and we need him safe. So it starts at home. That's right. So until the next time, keep virtual tripping. Well, right. I don't know. Hold on. There's so many colors out right now. Yeah, you know, it's like code yellow, code. I'm confused. So, you know, we gonna go back to just keep tripping. You can keep tripping, but the only colors I recognize this month are for Pride. I don't care what colors outside. I'm inside. I'm with you on that. But the only colors I recognize is the red, the black, and the green. Look it up. But yeah, we're in the house. But we're recognizing rainbow, red, black, and green. And that's it. All right, guys. Till next time, keep tripping.